The chapter starts where the last one ended. The Master of Ceremonies brought 8 to 9 members of the Davy clan to the stage. Kid Teach and his mom were 2 of them. Teach's mom looked a lot like Robin/Olivia, but with messy hair. 2 men of the Davy clan were very big. The celestial dragons in the audience were enraged, throwing knives and axes to the Davy clan slaves and saying that they were a despised lineage. One of the celestial dragons even said, "You're buccaneers too, aren't you?" But no important character confirms that information in this chapter. Kid Teach looked terrified at the celestial dragons in the audience while his mom tried to protect him from the things that they were throwing. The Master of Ceremonies tried to stop them, saying that if one of the slaves die in the stage, that they will be penalized. So yeah, we found this out yesterday. Allegedly, Blackbeard is a buccaneer. Now, it seems to be kind of up in the air the way that Zhoniin is wording it here. No important character confirms it in this chapter. And I guess he has to say that given how sensitive this freaking community is. I mean, you guys are aware of it, you're a part of it too. But it would just be weird if Oda put that in the manga for it to just not mean anything or to be like a misdirect, because it would just confuse the audience. And Oda is definitely aware that most of the audience are just casual readers or watchers. They're not, like hardcore about it. That's just a small fraction of the audience, to be honest. I mean, most of them, and I'm not trying to be mean, probably forget or don't even know what Buccaneers are. I mean, go to Anime Expo right now and walk up to somebody cosplaying as a One Piece character. I guarantee they're not going to be able to answer most of your questions. So that being said, if Oda had somebody in the audience saying, "You're Buccaneers too, right?" It 98%, in my opinion, means that they are Buccaneers for sure. Don't know if all of the Davy clan members are Buccaneers, but given the exposition that we got about them when it was revealed that Kuma was a Buccaneer, like that was the first time we heard that the Buccaneers were a thing in the first place. Paraphrasing, but it said that they were like a cursed lineage and they did some horrible crime back in the day or something. And now that this is being tied to Davy Jones, that totally makes sense, because Davy Jones was like, the Rocks of the Void Century, essentially, right? He was like the cool version of Joy Boy. I'm just guessing. It's probably what's going to happen. So he probably did some heinous stuff to Celestial Dragons and Emu, which got his whole lineage cursed and erased, because that's how they roll. And also, like we talked about, Blackbeard looks like Kuma. They've got the whole big upper body, skipping leg day forever physique going on, the hair and the skin. And it makes me think, like, maybe Kaido is like a Buccaneer too, because he's got the same thing going on, right? And I know we talked about how Kaido is probably the illegitimate child of Harold, but we also talked about how Harold probably got together with a Buccaneer out there, right? And made Kaido. But anyway, I'm going with Blackbeard being a Buccaneer here. If you guys don't like it, then you can just say that he's not. Prize presentation ended, and the hunting game started. We see many pages showing the Celestial Dragons and the God Knights killing people in God Valley. Dragon saw Kuma and Ivankov talking, and then he saw a Celestial Dragon about to shoot Kuma. So Dragon shot at that Celestial Dragon first to save Kuma. So we talked about this yesterday too. Dragon Redemption Tour, and I say that, I don't know, just personally. Maybe you guys freaking have loved Dragon this whole time. Me, not so much, because Dragon never really did anything. And especially the stuff that happened with Ginny, what we found out in Kuma's flashback, it just seems like Dragon, he just wasn't him. But maybe he is him, and he's just been a sleeping giant this whole time, just waiting for the perfect opportunity to farm that precious aura, and I think we're getting to that point. Because young Dragon here at God Valley, rookie Marine Dragon, he's approaching like top 6, top 5 best characters already, just because of him shooting a freaking Celestial Dragon. And also, it says shooting here. It was established in the previous chapter that Dragon is using like tranquilizer darts or whatever, so he probably shot a Celestial Dragon with that. I hope he doesn't. I hope he just switches to like live ammo and just kills one of them. Because if he did that, then he's like number 2 right behind Rocks, but probably not. He probably gave him tranquilizer, but still pretty good, because you would be instantly executed for doing that. I mean, you would be instantly executed for just like slapping a Celestial Dragon. You'd probably even be executed if you like farted on one, maybe. Then in an effing epic double page, we see Rock's Pirates' arrival to God Valley. This scene takes place just before the scene we saw in chapter 1096. The Rock's Pirates were arguing about how they would rescue Shaki. Rock says, "Hear me out, boys. Here we have Shaki, treasures, and the devil fruits. What good will infighting do us? Let's cooperate with each other for now. Once we get back, we'll split them up fair and square. Sounds good?" Barble says, "How the hell are we going to split up Shaki?" And Shiki says, obviously she will fall for the guy who helped her the most. And Kyo says, you're damn right, so stay away all of you. John says, nope, Shaki will fall for the guy who ends up with the most treasures. Whitebeard says, do what you want, I'm just going to save her as a friend. Although, I wouldn't mind her falling in love with me either. Stussy says, what the hell do you mean by that, Newgate? Gloriosa says, if I save Shaki, I suppose Roger will thank me, but Strusen says, Wang Ji is staying on the island that forbids anyone from entering the bar. Big Mom says, what a bunch of idiots. Even if the world ends tomorrow, Shaki won't turn towards any of you. And Kaido says, Lin, are you actually going to give me the devil fruit? Awesome interaction between the Rocks Pirates here. I wish they were the main cast. Like, all that time, there was all this propaganda on Rocks about how he's like this terrible guy, he sucks, he backstabs, he's not good to work with. He's what Luffy was supposed to be, I think. During the chaos created by the arrival of the Rocks Pirates, Dragon manages to rescue the twin babies. Alright, so here we're seeing Dragon for sure rescuing baby Shanks and Shamrock from Shanks' mom. Then we see the Roger Pirates arrive to God Valley. This scene takes place just after the scene we saw in 1096 as well. Roger said he's going to rescue Shaki and ordered his crewmates to go for the treasures. But Roger Pirates trampled Roger and went to take Shaki first. LOL! Then we see the Knights of God presentation. That's the English official name. We see exactly the same scene that we saw in 1096 again. Now that panel is a full page. In addition to the God Knights, we saw in chapter 1096, now we can see two new members. The first one is a huge creature similar to a Yeti with horns and wings. The second one is a big woman with horns, sharp fangs, and black/white messy hair. She wore sunglasses and smoked a cigar. This woman looked a lot like Killingham, but we don't know yet if they are related. Alright, we're seeing two new God Knights here, and now that we're getting a better description of them, it seems like they have just been giving the Domi Reversi, whatever powers from Emu, you know, like her demonic transformation powers. I mean, horns and wings, teeth, fangs, that's what it is, right? I mean, I could be wrong, but I haven't seen the panel. And considering that Redon is saying that this woman looks like Killingham, it's probably his mom, maybe, right? Because Killingham has like those weird teeth, very reminiscent of like a fish man. Marines in the God Valley were unable to stop all the pirates who were arriving from all directions. But the chapter ends with another epic double page with Garp's fleet arrival to God Valley. Garp used his meteor fist to attack some pirates from his ship, while the Marine soldiers in the island cried with emotion after the arrival of reinforcement. Alright, so the stage is set for something truly incredible here, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm worried. Not because of how epic and crazy and amazing it's going to be, but because how Oda is with stuff like this. We gotta be real here, guys. The next chapter is either gonna be a 10 out of 10 or like kind of disappointing. And I don't think there's going to be little in between. Sometimes he sets up like this huge, incredible thing and then we just don't see it. Or we're just going to see just panels of like two characters clashing with lightning coming from. And that's cool and all. It's great, but it's like, this is like one of the most important things in the entire series, right? And this chapter specifically sets up, now we have all of the factions together and there should be this incredible epic war going on. And hopefully we do get to see it, but I have a feeling that we're really not. I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't want to be pessimistic, but I do want to just be realistic about this. That's all. Let me know what you think about that in the comments, guys. We're going to have a follow-up video either tomorrow or Friday once we actually are able to see what's going on in this chapter, and then we can talk about it more. But other than that, again, let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.